This is the Race Junior. The model number is RL-JR. What I'm going to demonstrate in this video is how to change out a roll of labels. So I'm going to start by turning the machine around and showing you the machine from the rear. And this is the brake here, this white thing that lays over the roller that holds the roll of labels. You can see it's got a slot in the back of it right there. So to disengage the brake is very easy. Simply pull up on the knob and slide it out of the slot. The brake is disengaged. Now what you can do is pull the whole roll right out of the machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this roll of labels out and then I'm going to put it back on. So you come over here and you see this cap screw that goes through the lock collar. You want to loosen that up, and this does require a little torque, and then it slides right off. Now there's two cap screws, one here and one here, that are used to tighten the roll of labels into the machine once you have a new roll back on. So you want to back those off a little bit so that this end does not stick out through this side of the collar. So just have those backed off. I'm going to take off the stainless steel washer. That's the stainless steel washers to protect this disc. Alright, so then the roll of labels slides right off the machine. Okay, so you have the roll of labels off. You can see that there's two poly adapter donuts on the roller to adapt the 1 3/8 inch roller to a 3-inch core, which is what you're going to have. So anyway, this goes back on. The roll, that's a real tight roll of labels. Anyway, that goes back on over the white adapter donuts. The black disc goes back on. The protecting washer goes back on. And then this donut here, or collar, lock collar, goes back on. And then it's okay if you want to put it back in the machine, so you can work with it easier then. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze the roll of labels as much as I can by just using kind of the fat of my hand to squeeze that in, and then I'm going to tighten this down. Now I'm going to lock it in by taking these two cap screws and tightening those up, and it will squeeze the roll of labels even more so it locks it into the machine. Now I'm going to put the brake back on. So you come over here, I'll flip the brake over, pull the black knob up, and apply the brake is now attached, so that gives it some tension on here. So that brake is adjustable. The more you compress the spring below the brake, the more braking power you have. Now I'm going to thread it, and to do that, coming forwards, the labels are pulling from the bottom. You're going to go over the top of the guide roller, and then you're going to come down with it and come out between the black roller and the blue separator plate. Paper is then going to go back up to the top of the roll of labels, and if you have a piece of tape handy, which I happen to have, you can tape the end right to the top of the roll of labels. By the way, it's a good idea to have about 2.5 to 3 feet of empty paper starting off to get it threaded. So you put your fingers in right on top of the tape and roll it away from you. The tape disappears around the back, comes back around again, and comes out the front. Now what you want to do is come out underneath the silver roller in front. This machine is now threaded, and you can see when you pull on the substrate paper that if the first label peeks out sticky side up. When you're applying a label, you want no part of the label showing, so the label should look like that. No part of the label showing when you put a container into the machine. But that's how you mount the roll of labels. And we have other videos that will show you how to do other things that need to be done.